Wow, so cool, so amazing to see as many of you showing up here and spending some time with me and the angels. So grateful to be part of this with all of you. And I hope that you enjoy everything that we share. Tonight's whole intention around this is really all about encouraging you to have your own direct experience of the angels. And we're going to spend a lot of time and energy on really ensuring that you have the tools when you leave here today, that you can have this clear, crisp connection with the angels, and that you can really speak to them in a way that feels accessible and also feel as if you're receiving something back. So I'm really looking forward to doing this, and I've got a PowerPoint here today to help you with some of the topics that I'm going to share. So first of all, I've got a singing bowl here, and I want to just touch base on what we covered in the first webinar. We were speaking about angelic protection, and I taught you this process of welcoming in the angelic protection. I want to take you through very quickly those steps to put your energy on right now and to tune you into your guardian angel and to your guardian angel's frequency. Before I do that, I want to remind you the principal, guidelines to the work that I do. So that being said, is very simple. First things first, we are all equals. Everyone in this space is from the same creator. We will all return to that same place. So we have the same Father, Mother, God. We've all come from spirit. We'll all return to spirit. And so therefore, we are of equal standing. So it does not matter what part of the world you're from, the color of your skin. It doesn't matter the religion that you follow. We are of equal standing. I see you. I am your friend, your colleague on this spiritual journey. And I encourage you not to see what I do as special, but more something I've spent time and energy developing. I really believe that all of us have spiritual muscles within us, and it's kind of like going to the gym. The first time you go to the gym, you might not be able to pick up the really heavy weight. You have to build up the strength and the ability and the technique, and then eventually you'll be able to lift up that weight. I believe connecting to the spiritual realms, including that of the angels, is really a muscle that is very active when we're small, and then it usually switches off through us just, being exposed to the world, or it kind of goes dormant, but it can be reactivated and it can be strengthened. And that's really what I've dedicated my work to doing. The other thing I always say is that whatever you learn in this gathering, in this space, may it be something that you go out there and share. I really believe that it's important for all of us to spend time and energy removing this elitism within the spiritual community. If you learn some sort of information or technique, that really can only be of service if it is shared. So if there's something that you like or learn in my webinar today and it's helpful to you, I highly encourage you to go back and share it with your friends and your community and those that you connect with on a spiritual level. Be open to discussion of that. Yeah, that feels good. So I'm going to get you just to bring both feet down onto the earth. Got a singing bowl here. We're just going to do a couple of strikes just to bring us in. Feet down on the earth, palms face upwards. And your palms facing upwards ultimately is just this opportunity to receive. And switch on the deepest quality of your breath. Close the eyes down and switch on your smile. The smile is the easiest yoga pose. So switch it on right now. bring your mind and your awareness to something that you're grateful for. Think about something that lights you up from the inside out. That can be someone you love. It can be your health. It could even be the blessings of your day. But as you tune into what you're grateful for, realize that the gratitude you feel generates a light in the center of your chest at your heart. And this light grows brighter and brighter and brighter until this light washes over and through the entirety of your physical body. The light that you see is your light. Today you are encouraged to bask within it. The light in you will never fade away and it will never go out. And that light within you has the opportunity to shine whenever it faces darkness. Darkness does not mean badness. It simply can mean uncertainty. Call that light up and out and allow it to wash through your whole body, almost as if you are in what can only be described as a spiritual car wash. And as that light washes from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes, over the crown of your head, your forehead, your eyelids, your ears, your cheeks, and your chin, allow it to move down the neck, the shoulders, the front of the chest, and the heart, over the top of the back, the middle back, the low back. The light washes over your buttocks. It washes over your belly, your pubic region, your genitals, your thighs, knees, shins, and all the way through the tips of your toes. The light extends from your heart down both of your hands, down both of your arms, and into your hands. That light is attractive in nature, and it draws towards you other great lights. And those lights are known as angels. Angels of light are pure divine beings, the messengers of God, not separate from the Creator, but always one with, beings radiating unconditional love and light, and they're here with you now. And in this moment, we say, thank you, angels. Thank you, angels, for being here and for holding this space. We dedicate this gathering and this coming together of equals to the greatest good of all beings in the four corners of this world. We set an intention collectively today that whatever is gained from this, may it be for the greatest good of all beings in the four corners of the world. And in particular, we send rays of unconditional angelic light out to the children and the animals of this world who sometimes are unheard and voiceless. And we also share this light out to communities that are marginalized, left out, forgotten, and not seen. Thank you, angels, for lifting them up and for allowing them to be seen, heard, and guided. And at this moment, into this space, feel your guardian angel's presence. Allow your physical body to be aware. Reach out with your awareness and connect around the space that you are in now. Is your guardian angel on the left or right? Are they slightly before you, behind you, slightly above you, maybe to the side or even below you? Wherever your angel is, connect with them. Just send a wave of love from your heart to theirs. Know that they are here. Before we move forward and move into this session today, let's administer Angelic Protection 101. Say this prayer. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for cutting the cords and the negative cords that bind me to people, places, situations, fears, stories, or any other stuff that stands between me and my greatness. Thank you for cutting these unnecessary cords now. I am safe. I am free. Bring your hands onto heart space and say this: I am the keeper of my mind and of my body. Wherever love is present, fear is a stranger, and love is here in me. I am the keeper of my mind and of my body. Wherever love is present, fear is a stranger, and love is here in me. And now open your palms to the sky and call upon your Creator, God, Source, unconditional love, and thank that source of light for surrounding you in a bubble of protection. Imagine a piercing light coming from the heart of God all the way down through the sky and then surrounding you in this giant bubble of light. And when you're feeling safe, affirm it. I am safe. I am free. Thank you, angels. Thank you, God. And so it is. And when you're ready, come back into this space. You have raised your frequency. You've dedicated the merit of this spiritual practice. And you have administered angelic protection. The angels are here in this space with you. If you feel you want to take down any notes or anything that came up, now is the time to do it. I'm just going to load up my PowerPoint. Really looking forward to doing this. I also want to keep my notes handy so I don't forget everything. So I want to share a PowerPoint with you today, all about, my angel prayers technique, which is really important. So I'm now sharing my screen and let's dive deep. So I want you to get the most out of this. So I'm going to make as much of the time as possible. Whether you realize it or not, I have just taken you through a process that is dedicated to the angel prayers technique. And I really want to dive into that today to really help you experience your connection with the angels. So Angel Prayers is the second book I ever wrote, and it's with Hay House, and it was the book I feel really was, the main thing I was supposed to write in my life. And I have been experiencing the angels for a very long time, and I've had these very one-on-one experiences with the angels. And the first thing I want to say to you all is your spiritual practice is here to hold you. Now, you are in this space right now, and you have been called to this space, whether you realize it or not. There is a part of you inside that feels so drawn or so connected to the angels, and there is a reason for that. The reason is simple. You are remembering. Before you were in this body and before you were in this lifetime, you were part of what can only be described as the cosmos. You were part of the stars. You were one with divine love. Now that is your truth. Your truth is you are still one with divine love, but you're having this very human experience. Now, the reason you felt called to connecting with the angels, and the reason you felt this pull is that somewhere deep within you, you've had this deep feeling of wanting to be better, wanting to make the world better, wanting to live a better life. You've wanted to be better for your family, for your children, for your husband, for your partner, for the world. You have felt called. If you don't realize it's a calling, that's exactly what it is. That feeling of wanting to make something different. Now, there's a good chance that through your life, you've always felt called to spirituality. You've always felt aligned to it. There's a feeling deep within you, even if you've came and you've gone from it, that you know that you're part of something greater, and there's a greater divine plan unfolding, and that you are connected to something greater. Over the years, you've probably had challenges in your faith, in the sense where you feel that you believe, but then at other times you felt frustrated and you felt annoyed and you felt overwhelmed. Most of the time when things have went wrong, you've maybe probably asked for help or tried to reach out to your angels, or tried to wonder where they are, or tried to reach out to God, tried to wonder where he or they are. And so you've believed, but your faith probably has come and gone. Now, I want to say to you before I dive deep into this is that your spiritual practice was made to hold you. So what I mean by that is it's kind of like your spiritual first aid kit. Having a spiritual practice, which is basically some tools that help you stay connected and help you stay elevated, is what's supposed to be put into use when things go wrong. What I mean by that is the moments of your life where, the stuff hits the fan, or you're feeling challenged, or something goes wrong. Maybe you could lose your job, lose your relationship, lose a loved one. But there's this hardwiring in all of us called the ego. And ego breaks down to edging good out. And that's a quote directly from Wayne Dyer. And the ego is this inner voice that is always challenging your intuition. It's always challenging your heart, and it's always challenging your faith. The ego ultimately has a purpose, and the purpose of the ego is to give you a choice. Now, when things go wrong, the ego then starts to make you question your faith. It'll make you go, is God really real? If God was real, this would never happen. If the angels were real, this wouldn't have went wrong. And we start spiraling out of control. And then we find ourselves in a place of fear. Now, the ego is this voice that wants us to feel alone, and it wants us to be separate from love, and it wants us to be separate from our angels and our guidance system. But the truth of the matter is this: your spiritual practice is the first aid kit of your soul. It's there to hold you when things go wrong. For some reason, a lot of us put ourselves into a space of sabotage. So when things go wrong, we, instead of clinging to our spiritual practice and doing the prayers and doing the meditations and connecting, we actually force it away and then find ourselves in an even harder position than we were in the first place. So the first thing I'm going to say to you is, when things get tough and when things get hard, it's important for you to know that you had a spiritual practice there to hold you. Do not reject it when you need it the most. I'll never forget the first time I ever had a one-on-one connection with an angel. I was 15 years old. I had been a very spiritually curious boy for a long time. To cut the long story short, I had many spiritual experiences growing up with my grandmother, and I had many spiritual experiences with just feeling things and being overwhelmed emotionally. I had fumbled my way through my teenage years, always feeling like the person that no one could understand and no one could fully get. I felt overly sensitive, often felt like the reject, and found myself as a very solitary person. With that all being said, I had discovered the energy of crystals. I had discovered magic and energy healing, and I had eventually found myself interested in angels. I had got angel cards for my 15th birthday, and I started to practice doing angel card readings for family and friends. And to be quite frank, I got pretty good at it. I had no idea what I was doing, but there was something that felt very natural about the angels to me, and I could only describe every time I spoke to them, I felt love. I had already been convinced the angels were real because I would just to help you understand it. I had this virus when I was a kid called Guillain-Barré syndrome, which was an autoimmune virus that left me paralyzed for several months. And one of the after effects of having many lumbar punctures was these migraine headaches that haunted me my whole entire childhood. When I got to my teenage years and learned the angels were out there and that they could help us and that these divine beings went beyond religion, that they were mentioned in the four corners of the world, with different names and different faces, but the essence remaining very similar and the same. I learned that if you ask the angels for help, they could help you. So I remember my first ever prayer to the angels was, if you are real, thank you for healing my headache. And over the course of days, my headache faded, which lasted 11 years. So at this point, I'm a teenager. I already believe in angels because I've had this demonstration of healing. And I've had this experience that there's something else out there helping me. I was invited with my mother to a family friend's barbecue. And my mum said, why don't you bring your angel cards and you can practice doing readings for other people. I love my angel cards. And so I took my angel cards with me. And there was this gay couple there, very different in personality. The only way I could describe them both is like salt and pepper. And these two men were interested in having an angel card reading. So I set up shop in this backyard that day. And I had put this, tablecloth that was green with gold lining. And I had the little velvet bag and the crystals and the incense on, and a little tea light candle was lit. I hope you're smiling because I know you've done it too. And I started practicing doing readings. So I did the first reading and it went pretty well. And I did the second reading and it wasn't necessarily as good. Didn't start off as good as the first one. I was feeling a little bit jammed. Anyway, so when I was doing this from very early on, I was like, in my head, if there's angels here, I want you to know that I want to speak to you. If there's angels here, I want to, form communication. So I'm doing this reading for this guy, and he was so skeptic. He was not interested. And all of a sudden, as my hands were holding his hands and I was saying a prayer, I started to hear music playing. And it was Destiny's Child Survivor. And I'm like, what is this all about? So I said, can you hear that? And he said, no. What are you talking about? I'm like, I can hear Destiny's Child in my head and it feels like it's for you. I can hear the song Survivor. And if you don't know the song, it goes something like, I'm a survivor, I'm gonna get the, it keeps saying I'm a survivor. So, and I then say, it feels like this is for you. And I say the prayer that changes my entire existence forever. I say, if there is an angel here, thank you for revealing your presence. All of a sudden, it felt like someone hit pause. The world slowed down all around me. What can only be described as a pinpoint of light started to move towards me. It was so fast, so clear, and so real. I felt stuck in the chair. And as this pinpoint of light moved towards me, it became what can only be described as a being made of unconditional light. It was pure light. It looked like something from the movie Cocoon. And I then say, there's an angel standing behind you. And he's like, sorry? I'm like, there's an angel behind you. And he's looking. And he can't see it, but I can. And then all of a sudden, I hear this very clear message. It says, tell this man he is the survivor. I then say, there's an angel standing with you right now, and it wants you to know that you're a survivor. And he says, what do you mean I'm a survivor? And I have no idea how I knew the next part, but I just said it. It feels to me as if you've not wanted to be here on this planet. It feels to me like you felt like you don't belong. It feels to me like you've tried to escape and you are being kept here. He then does this. He grabs my cards and he closes them and he bolts. It was a bit of an emotional moment. It was all a bit too much. And later on that night, after he left and after we got home, my mum gets a phone call, and it turns out that this man had tried to take his own life several times. And every time he attempted to do so, there was some sort of intervention that saved him. Things that, you know, I don't want to go into detail on, but it was really quite incredible. In all that moment, the angel just kind of disappeared, but word got out very, very fast that I was the boy that could see angels. And every time I started to do this and get myself into that space, the angels started to appear. Sometimes they were out here, sometimes they were only in here, sometimes I could just hear, but it was active, it was activated. Now, there's a few things that I want to do before we dive even deeper into this, that your angels will always speak to you in the language that resonates with you. So in this case, I was a teenage boy who loved Beyonce and Destiny's Child. So the angels used and worked with music that was in my kind of back catalogue that I could relate to and that I could understand in order for me to convey the message to this man that he is a survivor. So before we go any further, if you are connecting with angels and you want to speak to them, and you found that communication channel maybe sometimes stuck or slow or not clear, are you trying to experience the angels through someone else's lens? Because if you are, I highly encourage you to know that they can only communicate with you in a way that resonates with you. The other thing I want to go to is this. When I was connecting with the angels and I felt a shift in the atmosphere, instead of freaking out and wondering if it was real or not, I went into the space of trust. And instead of wondering if this angel was here, I made a direct invitation. I said, if there is an angel here, thank you for revealing your presence. I encouraged and welcomed this angel into the space. I stepped into that state of gratitude, and that is ultimately what uncovered the connection. That leads me into what is really important about angel prayers and the technique, and it's going to help you connect even clearer. So the first thing I want to say is this. When it comes to you having your direct connection, it's important to pray first, not last. If you have spent your entire lifetime believing in angels, guides, the divine, but treating this relationship as the place you go last, as your final, straw, then this relationship is going to have a strain, essentially. It's not because the angels are not ready to help you, and it's not because the angels don't want to. It's more, you've not respected the relationship to this point, and so therefore your capacity to believe in them helping you might be somewhat muted. If you really believe in angels, you wouldn't go there as your final resort. You would go there as your first. So it's important to pray first, not last. Don't just pray when things go wrong, pray when things go right. So if you want to open up the communication channels between you and the divine, you don't want to just check in every time you hit a rock in the road, or a barrier or a wall. You also want to be in that space of prayer when you're in gratitude. Thank you, God, for this great blessing today. Even the smallest things, dialing into gratitude if you have a hot shower. Like, we take that for granted. I do anyway. When I'm in the shower, I'm always like, thank you, God, in complete gratitude. I always say thank you for my puppy every single day, because I genuinely do not know, what I've done to deserve such joy, from this little puppy. It's going to make me cry, like, I feel so grateful. So I encourage you to pray first, not last. And when you're in prayer, do it from a space of gratitude. Make it about thanks. I've always found that when I move into a space of gratitude in my prayers, even if I'm going to approach the universe, God, source, the angels for help with something, I'm always making sure I'm loading up the space and the prayer with my gratitudes first, because I know that in my gratitude space, I'm more susceptible to the miraculous. I'm more in a space where I am able to receive better. When I'm in gratitude, I'm a magnet for miracles. So, thank you, angels, is the most important prayer that I have ever written. And, it happened by accident. I have been, since my teenage years, a student of Louise Hay. Louise Hay, if you don't mind me saying, is simply the most influential spiritual teacher in my life, other than my own mother. And she is the most influential woman in my world. Louise Hay and her work, is holding the space for us to do this right now. But I realized when I was studying the work of Louise Hay that there was really a key to her message, that there is no place more powerful than the present moment. And through a space of gratitude and affirmative action, we can experience miraculous things in my life. But I realized very early on into my journey with the angels that there were some roadblocks in the way I was connecting with the angelic realm. And one of those avenues was through prayer. I was speaking to the angels in prayer the way I learned to pray in Sunday school. And, being brought up in a Protestant household, I went to Sunday school every single week, and I learned to pray in a way where if you needed help, you would speak to God like this: please, God, help me with this. And then you would hope that the future would deliver the answer. So when I formed the bond with the angelic realm, I said, when you're speaking to angels, you're speaking directly to the heart of God, because angels are the heartbeats of God. So don't worry about speaking directly to the angels before we go further. But I learned that I was saying, please angels help me with this, and please angels help me with that. And through my pleas, I was kind of in my mind believing that the future would deliver the answer, that the answer would come soon. It would come, then. But I realized that the angels are beings of utter presence existing in the present. And if instead of me saying, please angels help me with this, or please angels help me with that, instead I would say, thank you angels for helping me with this, as if it has already been done, then I would start to experience things differently. And that's when I came up with thank you angels. So, if I was working on experiencing my angels personally, instead of saying, please angels come to me, I'd be like, thank you angels for being here with me. Do you see the shift in my lingo? Do you see the shift in how I'm speaking? I'm saying to the angels, I know you're here, when I'm saying thank you angels for being here with me. I know, and I'm trusting, rather than please angels help me with this. I'm stating that it's already happened. Now, the other big shift that happened in my prayers and my connection to the angels, and this came through my journey with angel cards, because I realized after building up a bit of a community with a lot of women, I was a teenage boy, but in all of these spiritual circles, it was majority females. Who were at a certain part of their life, and they would work with angel cards, and when they picked an angel card, they always wanted a specific angel card to come out, or a specific answer to kind of be revealed. And I realized that I started to learn that too. I was trying to pick a certain card, and I realized very early on that our relationship with the angelic realm must be based upon the principles of truth and integrity. That also means through our angel cards. And it's so important for us not to ask for what we think we want, but more ask for what we need. And so when I started my journey, I was like, thank you angels for this, thank you angels for that. And I had the demonstration of getting some nice things and some nice blessings, but I realized that if I just started to welcome the angels into my life and invite them to lead the way, all I need will be met, and I'll be guided to that, and I'll not let my ego run the show. So when I started to do angel card readings, I'd say, thank you angels for revealing to me what I need to know. And I would trust that the first card I picked would be the card that I needed, rather than the card that I wanted. And that started to form this very strong bond with the angels. It started to create this connection that was really based on truth. And the angels are truth speakers. The other thing is that when you're praying and when you're welcoming the angels through the thank you angels method, you want to speak in a way that you're being led to your highest good. Because what you think you need and what the angels think you need, in most cases, are always two different conversations and often two very different paths. So when you're working with the divine and when you're working with the angelic realm, you want to thank them for leading you to your highest good, that space that is in alignment with your plan and the divine plan. So if you've always asked for a specific thing, for example, maybe you need some support on a financial level in your life, instead of saying, angels, please bring me money from my work, or please help me get that bonus I'm overdue, you can say, thank you angels for opening the doors to abundance for my highest good, so that I can support myself, my loved ones, and my life. Speak in a way that it's already been done, Speak in a way where you're open to the angels leading the conversation and leading the unfoldment of this. Speak in a way where you're creating space for miracles. If you are trying to direct the course of your life, you're blocking the doors to miracles, because it's not how big the miracle is, it's simply how much room you make for it. Pray in a way that your prayers are already answered and feel like they have already been answered. And one of the biggest shifts for me would be when I say a prayer, even if I'm not experiencing what I'm praying, I will feel like I have experienced it. And I often would finish my prayers with a song that makes me feel like lit up. It makes me feel on top of my game. You know, I'd often play Montel Jordan, like, this is how we do it. You know, I dance after my prayers and get into the space that what I am praying for has already been answered. So I want to share the important prayers that you need in your life, that you need to go and try. And then I want to hear back from you what you experienced. So the first and the most important prayer that I will share with you today is this: thank you, angels, for reminding me of your presence. There's a lot of people out there who teach, ask your angels for a sign. Now, a lot of people say something along the lines of, angels, if you're real, give me a sign. But by this point, and if you're in this conversation and in this space with me, you already believe in angels. You wouldn't be here unless you did. Even if you're not 100% sure that they're out there, there's something deep inside of you that knows that this is real. So instead of saying to them, please give me proof that you're real, state that you know that they're here and that you're welcoming a reminder of their presence. And that's why I created Thank You, Angels, for reminding me of your presence. And the more I started to do this, I started to have evidence of angels everywhere I went. It might be hearing angels on the radio, finding a feather, seeing a living on the clock, having that tickle on my neck, smelling roses. You know, there was several different things that would happen, and it would just give me that, clarity that the angels are here. So this is the most important one. If you don't have a pen and paper, just take a screenshot of it. Let's continue. The next thing is this. If you want to hear your angels, they are as loud as your willingness to listen. And there is a key factor in this conversation. Your angels are as loud as your willingness to listen. Take that in. If you have spent your life not trusting your own gut or listening to the guidance of your own highest self, you know, the part of you that's always thinking in your best interest. For example, delete the phone number of that friend or colleague or a loved one that you know is draining you, but you've never done it. Or don't let this person back into your life. You know, those little things that says, don't eat this fast food item because you know you're going to spiral into a space of self-sabotage afterwards. You know, any of those voices that you hear inside of yourself and you've never maybe honored, often it can be hard to hear your angels because you've spent a lifetime ignoring yourself. So that's why the practice of meditation is really important. And that's why the practice of putting your hand on your heart and just asking yourself, first of all, what you need to know can be helpful for you before you ask your angels. So that's when people say to me, why can you hear angels and I can? And I always say, well, how long have you spent listening? Because, you know, I genuinely have made a pact in my life that I will listen every single day. The one thing of my life is a non-negotiable is my meditation practice. I didn't make it a non-negotiable until very recently, even though I've been meditating for probably 16, 17, 18 years. And right now I know, like, for example, I'm on my 207th day of unbroken meditation. There is no way I will break that. I'll listen. So your angels are as loud as your willingness to listen. And if that feels like a big task to meditate every single day, all you have to do is set a timer. It could be an egg timer, a cell phone timer, a reminder, and it can start from 2-minute windows, 5-minute windows, 7-minute windows, and then you can build it up to the length that you would like to do. Personally, I have 11-minute windows. I often do 2 a day, and it's 22 minutes out of my day, but 22 minutes I am enriched, supported, and connected. So your angels are as loud as your willingness to listen. If you get a sign, the key to every sign, and we'll go into those deeper on Thursday when we do our final webinar, every sign, the ultimate message of it is that you're on the right path. If you're getting a sign, the angels are here. They're high-fiving you, they're hip thrusting, they're elbow dropping you. They're letting you know that you are on the right path. So if you've seen something in your life and it feels like a sign, it is. Trust it. You've said the prayers. You've invited the angels in. You've asked. Now you're receiving. Know that every time you see a sign, you are not alone. In that moment, you are in complete alignment with the angelic kingdom. In that moment, you are in presence with the present. If you were not, you would not have seen the sign. So in that moment, you are connected to the infinity that is whole. And in that moment, the angelic realm are here to help you. The most important second prayer is this. Thank you, angels, for revealing to me what I need to know. You can use this prayer in your meditation, before you pick your angel card, or before you set off on the day. But when you say, thank you, angels, for revealing to me what I need to know, you are stepping into the space of, I am willing to listen. That's why I love working with these so much. Angel cards are a clear demonstration to the angels that you're willing to listen. Even if you don't want to read these for anyone else, having them is you just saying to the angels, I want to work with you more. I want to connect with you more. I want to experience you more. So going back, thank you, angels, for reminding me of your presence. And thank you, angels, for revealing to me what I need to know. These are the most important prayers that you will connect with. And I want to just say this before we go any further, that if you're in that space where you want the angels to be a bigger part of your life and you're feeling a shift in your purpose, I want to just help you understand something that the angels wanted me to share with you, especially if you're in that space right now and you're trying to figure out what your purpose is. There's a difference between purpose and career. Often we get them muted, and within the spiritual community, purpose and career are often intermingled and entwined. For example, you might be watching this and you hear me speak about angels and you'll say, that guy's purpose is to talk about these angels. I would say that speaking about angels is, first of all, I love you, angels. I really love them. And I'm so grateful that they are my life. I would also go on to say that me writing and teaching and speaking about angels is my career. I would say that my purpose is to be happy and to experience love. I would say that me speaking about angels helps me feel fulfilled and happy and experience love. So therefore, my career supports my purpose, but it's not defined as it. So if you find yourself in a space right now where you're feeling that you want to be more purposeful, the angels want you to know that your purpose is not your career, but you can find moments of purpose in your career, or your career can be entirely purposeful. But do not let what is on your business card or what is labeled as your career represent your own self-worth, because they're two different conversations. But if you are in a space where you want to feel more purposeful, the best way to do that is ask yourself how you can be more like the angels. And the angelic frequency is always in gratitude. It's always in service. It's always wanting to create harmony, and it's dedicated to authenticity. So I wanted to finish this webinar today with a meditation. Just very simple, the two prayers that I taught you today. And I want you to be able to give me feedback on what came through for you. So I want you just to bring both your feet down onto the earth, allow the palms to flip back open. Tune back into your breath, close the eyes down. Reconnect with the light that's dancing around, the energy all around you. Allow your awareness as it drops into you, first of all, to connect with you, your body. You might want to put a hand on the heart to do that, to say, hi, body. And then if there's something inside yourself that you know you've not honored, just connect with yourself about that now. And just say, it's okay. I love you. I forgive you. And in the perfect time, space, frequency, and sequence, I will fulfill what I need to do here. And then allow your awareness to reach beyond your body and reconnect with where you feel your angel is to you, if they're on your left or right. Before you're behind you, just connect with them. And if you feel your angel is of a particular color, imagine that you're drawing that color towards you now. And then say this prayer. Thank you, guardian angel, for reminding me of your presence. It feels so good to know you are here with me now. Take a big deep breath. Just be open to what comes to you or how you feel. And then say the next prayer. Thank you, guardian angel, for revealing to me what I need to know. I am willing to listen. And trust the first word, color, feeling that comes to you. Thank you, guardian angel, for revealing to me what I need to know. I am willing to listen. You might hear one word, a sentence, a color. Take a big deep breath in. Let it all go and receive. And then bring hands onto heart and just dedicate this to your highest good. I dedicate my prayers today to my highest good and to the highest good of all beings in the four corners of this world. And so it is. This is the most important thing I'll say to you, is that all these little subtle words, colors, feelings, emotions, these are all very subtle steps. And the more you do this, the stronger these spiritual muscles will become. If you felt your body tingling like Eloise, it's, the angels and the energy coming close. If you didn't see or hear anything, do not worry. Sometimes it takes to crack down the shields and to build that up. Someone says, my cat was going crazy. My dog was going crazy. You probably heard him running around. So if you got a body jerk, if you felt something, you could see an angel, all of these things are all where you're at right now. There is no competition. This takes time. And the more time and energy you dedicate to it, more will come. If you didn't get anything, don't give up. It's only beginning. There is a replay available of this. You can come back to it. And you've been given tools. The prayers I gave you today are tools that I've been using for, more than a decade, and I use them every single day. And they are as simple as that, and they are what helps me. So I hope you enjoyed this gathering. This has been number 2 of our seminar. The last and final seminar is on Thursday this week at the same time, and it's going to be all about signs. So if you want to learn more about angel numbers, what feathers or birds mean, I will be there with you. Hit me up on Instagram. It's at Kyle Gray UK. Stay tuned for the next part of the seminar. Hay House, our friends over there, thank you for hosting this for us all. Thank you for being such an amazing team. They will send you the replay. They will send you a reminder for the seminar. And I will see you on Thursday, where we dive deep into signs. Love you all. See you soon. Bye. See you. Bye.